Welcome to Digital Marketing School. Today we're talking to Stephen Conmy from the Digital Times. Stephen, welcome to Digital Marketing School. Can you first tell us a bit about this issue of Digital Times?
Yeah, this issue, the title, well, I suppose the theme of it was the evolution of e-commerce. So as the web has gone social, so are the e-commerce platforms moving social. So we looked at everything from social commerce, that could be anything from Facebook stores, to mobile commerce, that's selling within apps. And of course we also looked at innovative websites and how they're built, and also how to use social media, not just to promote your brand, but also to sell products. So we got some great contributors involved, and it turned out to be a great issue.
And what are contributors finding exciting about e-commerce?
I think the whole social space at the moment, it's absolutely alive. And the most exciting thing is that it's providing real utility and real services for people who are investing in it. So it's no longer just a case of idle chat. You can now use social services like Facebook, like Twitter, to add to your bottom line if you use it in an innovative way.
And do you think there are disadvantages to doing business this way?
Yeah, well, of course there are disadvantages in the sense that if you approach social media in the wrong way, and and you're, I suppose if you don't use it to maintain the correct conversations with your customer base, it can go wrong. But I think if you're a company and you have a strong brand, it's almost intuitive. Your use of social media should be intuitive. You should be able to continue to market your products and market your company in the correct way. It can, however, backfire on some companies, and we have seen examples of how social media can actually backfire on companies. But by and large, they're in the minority.
Is there a risk that by using social media in this way, you lose control of the brand?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that worry. And talking to a lot of the people, and it's actually mentioned in this issue as well, some companies just aren't suited to social media. There are some organizations, like law firms, for example. A lot of that information may not be social. So unless your information is social, unless it's worth sharing, unless you can use social media for the benefit of your company, it's often best to stay away from it.
And what sort of developments do you see in the future of mobile commerce?
I think what's exciting are the apps being created for social media platforms like Facebook. We've just seen, for example, Google Plus. That's an absolute awesome app. Mark Zuckerberg's response to that is, all apps are going to be social. And then Facebook came back with the Skype integration. Again, another social app whereby you can actually video chat to your friends over Facebook. And as the social web develops, because we've moved from Web 2.0, the search-based web, into the social web where information is pushed through the social channels, as that develops, I think the apps that are going to be created around that are going to be very exciting, because a lot of them are going to have real utility attached to them, whether that's for businesses or brands, but also for educational establishments and governments. So the social web and the development of the social web is probably the most exciting thing that's happening at the moment.
The cloud is consistently in the headlines over here regarding new jobs and employment. What do you think about it?
Well, I think, again, there's confusion about the cloud. There seems to be a lot of confusion about the cloud, and I think we are going to report on it in the next issue. And what we want to do is essentially paint a picture. You're a company this size. If you move to the cloud or move some of your IT infrastructure into the cloud, how much will you save? I think if people actually see in black and white cost savings, and they also see usability, then they may change their mind about it. But again, it's like anything else. You've got legacy enterprises, with huge, massive IT infrastructure in place that they've spent a lot of money in. It's like steering a big ship. They're not going to just jump into the cloud because it's there. But then you've got a lot of young startups and SMEs who could move easier, and can jump that bit quicker into the cloud. So that's quite interesting. The cloud is essentially you're renting space on service somewhere else, but there are other applications attached to that are interesting, and it's the way it's going. There's no point denying it. I just think that it's only going to grow.
Sony has recently been suffering all sorts of PR disasters over its security breaches. Where do you see the cloud when it comes to data protection?
There's always the danger that your data is vulnerable, but no matter where it is, it's vulnerable. This is the World Wide Web, and Sony, one of the most high profile there, and I don't think it's going to be the last. Certainly wasn't the first, certainly isn't going to be the last. But these organisations, they don't want this to happen, and they're very conscious of trying to protect their customers' data. So data protection, again, I think that industry is actually going to grow as the cloud industry grows. So the two go hand in hand, really.
Stephen Conmy from Digital Times, thanks again for talking to us today at Digital Marketing School.
Thanks.
If you have any questions you would like to ask or any further information you'd like to know at Digital Marketing School, please mail me at simon@digitalmarketingschool.com.